Hello everyone and welcome to what is quite frankly the highlight of your week. It is the GP2 Offline Championship. I am your host, your favourite offline championship commentator, not my words, everyone in the comments words, Oliver Glazebrook, and we are here at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix kind of GP2. We have got ourselves 16 corners ahead of us, one of the longest start-finish straights in the entirety of the calendar. We've got some technical corners, of course, going through turn 3, a high-speed right-hander, and of course turn 9, another tricky corner for everyone to go through. Obviously 14, 15 will be slow moving. We'll be hoping to see some overtaking around this track. A much more exciting race, which was last time's winner, Robert Patrick Hunter, is no longer starting on pole with a new pole splitter. And speaking of pole, let's have a quick look at the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix of GP2. So, taking pole for this race was Farizan, who took pole fantastically from David Greenwood. Third place, Robert Hunter, as I mentioned, and then fourth is Lucas Levi. Fifth is Patrick Juhas, and sixth is Franco Gaban. Seventh is somebody who I have heard is actually very good. I'm not going to name his name, of course. 8th place is Bruno de Barros in the other ART. 9th place is Luca Farin. 10th place is Javier Gualen, rounding out the top 10 there for iSport International. 11th place is Joseph Molnar for the Ocean Grand Prix team. 12th place, Sasha Banks, who was involved in a hectic crash, obviously, last time out. Investigations were pending. 13th place is William Duncan for Supernova, and 14th is Mauro McClary, who had a very good race up until a certain point, and will be looking to do a better, doing well from this position. 15th is Sean Grant representing Ireland. In 16th is Daniel Macamo for Arden. 17th is Jeffrey Fingai, another driver who done fantastically last time out, will be looking to improve upon where he is. Michael Vortiger, involved in some drama for Dams, is down in 18th position. 19th is Mario Rossi, another disappointing qualifying for a driver many people highly regard. 20th is Robin Quires. 21st is Franco Lopez, and rounding out is Gabriel Gomez for Trident in 22nd. We've got 20 laps here at Barcelona to look forward to. The grid is set. We are set, so let's get right into this Grand Prix. The conditions are as Joseph Willows, a long fan of mine. I've heard he's a very avid fan of mine. He would say, it's bright and sunny. So let's get ourselves into this. Get yourself a nice beer. Crack it open. If you're under the age, get yourself a J2O, because it is time for the Spanish Grand Prix. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count. The lights are out and we are away here. It's a fantastic start from, I believe that's Hunter. Indeed, now going up the inside, Greenwood now squeezing him there. 3 abreast going into turn 1. Who's going to come out of this nicely? Farizan looks like he's going to have that edge going into the corner, but Greenwood's going to be late on the brakes. Hunter, latest on the brakes there, takes the lead from this Grand Prix. Greenwood battling back at him, but it's Hunter from Greenwood, Farizan, and there seems to be no contact going through turn 1. I believe that's Levi in 4th, but Greenwood coming back at Hunter now, going through turn 3, up into 4. Hunter switches it back up the inside now. Later on the brakes, no, Greenwood takes the lead of this Grand Prix. So Greenwood takes it there from Farizan, who is now under pressure from Levi down there. You have Juhas in 5th, and there seems to be a gaggle of cars forming up behind there. But that was a hectic start there, and a great start for Greenwood, followed by Hunter. Farizan is in 3rd, Levi 4th, Juhas, Gaban, Farin, Glazebrook rolling out the top 8, De Barros in 9th, and so on and so forth. Yuri's getting too quick for me. I can't keep up with this. Rounding out, though, is Voltiga and Gomez. So that's it. So it's Greenwood representing England for Great Britain for Racing Engineering Renault. Hunter behind now, but you have Levi on the back of Farizan. Levi and Juhas now battling side by side, and Levi holds out for 4th position. So a very hectic race start there. Much more exciting than last time out, of course. But Greenwood, as mentioned, leads. Oh! Contact! And I believe that is it. It's Fingai. So hopefully we get a replay of that there. Big contact. He spun round there. But we'll have to have that looked at. So here goes Fingai going into the sharp left-hand braking zone. Late on it. Weaving all over the place. Questionable driving there. And then, just loses. Or just Lopez goes up his inside. So multiple moves there. And yet, I have to be honest, Fingai has turned in on them there, so there's no real complaints from Fingai. Lopez is a passenger. If anyone was going to get spun out, Fingai was the rightful person there. He's only got himself to blame in that situation. So Fingai now has it all to do after a very impressive race round at Bahrain. He has now got it all to do from P22, and it's a long way down with no pit stops, of course. It's going to be a difficult race for him. So now, Greenwood leads, of course. Hunter in second position. As we go through the goods there, but you can see De Barros right on the back of his teammate now. Will he be able to get in front of him? There seems to be somewhat of a rivalry, I've heard. I've mentioned in the chats a few times, reading through what people have said. People are saying there's a little bit of rivalry there. Obviously, De Barros has a top reserve seat there, so being outperformed by his teammate isn't the best look you'd be after, but definitely something that's going to be interesting to follow throughout the season. But Greenwood, as I mentioned, leading this great race currently, is slightly pulling away from Hunter there. He's getting 10th on him through that split there, so Hunter not having the rub of the green in this Grand Prix so far, but he's definitely under pressure from Farizan. So we've got Juhas and Levi who are battling it out for fourth place. No podiums at the moment, but it seems like they're being held up, and the front three are starting to pull away from them there as we come through this difficult left-right corner. One of the ones that's going to catch you out a few times if it's going to. Very slow moving as you go up the hill. It's a blind right-hander now going into probably the second longest straight on this track. It's not the most eccentric long straight on the track, but he's definitely somewhere you can be looking for overtakes, as we saw earlier with Finguy. It's going to be one of them corners where one of the cars behind might go for a lunging move, but Greenwood at the moment, as mentioned, is pulling away. 1/10 per split so far is the gap that he has started to pull away, but it looks like Farizan is right on the back of Hunter, so we could be seeing a battle for the lead at some point as Hunter may be preserving his tyres. It seems unlikely with this being a sprint format, but Hunter at the moment in second position, battling with so far the early championship contender to himself. But there is Farizan, as you can see the gap they pulled out to 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and I do not know, there's 8th now coming through the corner, so there seems to be a scrabble going on for 4th and 5th now. Speaking of which, Levi and Juhas now battling side by side. Will Juhas be able to make the move up the inside now? Longest straight, later on the brakes, gets the move done there nicely. Not going to be able to come back at him, but that has actually put Levi into the clutches of the car behind, so he might have to keep his wits about him there. But Juhas moves at the 4th, dropping Levi down to 5th. Gabon will now be looking to try and snatch 5th off him, with Farin and Glazebrook rounding out the top 8 at this time. I mean, time! Oh my word, there's some debris around there. That is a very, very big crash. This is going to be something we'll have to have a look at the replays. Definitely going to be an incident review. That is for the stewards to look at. That is an absolutely incredible crash. Lopez, who was involved earlier, so let's have a look now. Lopez, there goes up the inside, and there's a car that goes off the track, and oh blimey, a massive spin there. And then Lopez rejoins the track dangerously and takes out, I don't know who that is he's taken out, but there is an absolute cluster going on there. That is absolutely hectic. So let's have a look at Lopez. Going now up the inside, battling side by, up the inside, there he goes. Oh, maybe not his fault there, that's just a racing incident, but that is 100% his fault. And then he loses his front wing along with his wheel. Finguy has not come out that nice at all, so yeah, for me, that is Lopez's fault. You'll see Vortiger involved in this as well. There's Vortiger. He's just collateraled in all of that. So, in my opinion, Lopez will have to be punished for that. That's a very, very dangerous piece of driving. It wasn't his fault for the initial contact, but you have to make sure that you rejoin safely in them situations, which, sadly, for him and the other drivers, including Vortiger, there is no way that he has rejoined safely in that situation. But, speaking of rejoining safely, no segue at all there, because we're now on board with Robert Hunter, who is battling again with Farizan for 3rd position. Juhas is starting to pull away for 4th now. Up the inside goes Farizan. Is he going to make it stick now? Hunter tried to hold it around the outside. He's not used to racing after last week, but you think, yeah, but he's just held on to there. So Farizan getting a little bit itchy behind him. He wants to get past there. He's just a little bit impatient. Levi now battling with Gabon now for 5th position after his okay start and actually very good qualifying position. He'll be needing to build upon that, if anything, but he seems to be dropping backwards. Rossi's gained up into 6th. Quiles is the last man on track now in 20th position. So here we are, Greenwood again, now starting to pull away as he sets the fastest lap with a 1 minute 31.0. I think that was a 0.63 around about that sort of mark. So very competitive for GP2. That is obviously not going to be as quick as the top F1 class, but it's still a very competitive time. Up the inside now. Here we go. So there's another move done, nice and easy there. As that I don't believe, I'm not sure who that is. Oh, it's Levi. Levi has now dropped down to 6th position after losing out to Gabon. That's my mistake there. Greenwood now still pulling away. That's the slightest of margins. That's 8,000 per second now. He's pulled on Hunter. So I think, just using some simple knowledge there, as Grant now up the inside, swiping back in, so he holds on there. Just thinking about it, I think Farizan might be the quickest man out on track at the moment. So if Hunter holds him up any longer, we could be seeing Farizan maybe missing out on a possible race win here. But Greenwood at the moment is doing the job. Hunter is clearly not as quick as Farizan. He's going to need to get past him as quickly as possible if he has any chance of winning this race. I feel like these three are going to get the podiums at the moment. Hunter goes defensive there as we cut away to Queenland, who's now battling for 12th position with, I believe that is Grant, of course. So now, around this blind right-hander, as we mentioned earlier, I think Grant's going to look for a move up the inside. Defensive there goes Queenland now, holds it. Grant, though, is just unable to get past there. So, and holding on to P13 at the moment. Grant is in 12 for Queenland. So, as we look forward, hopefully next in a minute, we'll have Farizan and Hunter battling. There's Greenwood, though, the race leader. From start so far, he's had a very positive start. Free wide going into turn 1, and he came out on top from Hunter to Farizan, who has now set the fastest lap, as I mentioned, fastest man on track, a 1 minute 30.9 there, so he is definitely flying. Farin now trying to move up into 6th position on Levi, who is going backwards all of a sudden. After a great qualifying session, he now finds himself in P7 in this Grand Prix, and there you have the two ARTs rounding out 8th and 9th as they look to squabble out for the final points paying position, but seems to be no pace from Williams' reserve driver Bruno de Barros. There's Greenwood then in the lead, and Farizan still in 3rd position, frustrated behind Grant, as we're now rounding out Molnar in 10th. Duncan is 11th place. Grant is 12th. Queenland 13th. Rossi now going for 15th there, up the inside, unable to make anything happen. So there seems to be a little bit of struggle for overtaking, but they're very much feisty, these drivers. Finguy obviously at the very back after them incidents, and Greenwood not exactly close to lapping them, but Farizan once again looking for the move on Robert Hunter. He has the straight line speed. Multiple moves there from both drivers. Questionable driving. Almost very, very, very close to making contact, which has actually lost him out a heck of a lot of time to Robert Hunter there, so maybe he'll be regretting that. But Greenwood, as mentioned, race leader, starting, I wouldn't say he's pulling away. It seems to be a very consistent gap at the moment. McClary and Rossi now battling out for 15th position. Very close to losing some end plates there, but well driven and good on the brakes there from Rossi, who done a very good job to make sure that he is still in the contending for maybe points. There's a very slim chance with 15 laps to go. Sorry, it's a very, very slim chance that he's going to get points from this position. But you never know what happens ahead. We saw a huge crash in Bahrain, which absolutely shook up the pack completely. So never say never in these situations. This is GP2. I wouldn't say it's like touring cars. I'd say it's more like Mario Kart with the blue shell. I feel like that's the best way of describing these situations. But Rossi onto, I believe, Rossi now as he comes through now, hopefully to get up the inside later on the brakes. Is he going to be able to make this stick? He does indeed, and that's actually opened the pathway. No, coming back at him, great side-by-side squabble here. This could be 3 abreast going up into turn 4. Turn 3 they go, holding this nicely. What a great squabble we got going. 4 cars involved, going into turn 4. Anyone going up the inside? Yes, they are. There's Rossi, McClary. McClary holds off the car behind, but Rossi now holding on to 15th has got himself up there, and McClary in 16th position is got it. As I said, not exactly looking at points here. It's just going to have to be a positive performance after last week. So yeah, a fantastic bit of driving there, great squabbling, and it's nice to see that the drivers are very competitive and all looking to squabble between each other. Going up through now the blind right-hander, one of the most difficult corners, not in just this track but in F1 in general, or any blind corner, as many of you will know, is not an easy thing at all. You have to have so much faith in your own ability and the car's traction and steering, and it's a very difficult thing, and these cars aren't the most adept in the sport. But I have to say they're doing a very good job so far, these drivers, to make sure that they are holding on, and these cars, there's been no major driver errors. It's just basically been a little bit of racing incidents, apart from that huge one which cost Lopez and Vortiger their places. I believe that's the 2nd race in a row Vortiger has been involved in an incident as well, so that's never a good sign. Going through now the final corner, Gomez on 17th position, looking to catch up to McClary. A nice little swab going on as that's Rossi starting to pull away. McClary now, sorry, oh no, this is Macamo, sorry. No, it is McClary and Gomez. What is the, McClary and Gomez now battling side by side. Going up into turn 1, that's a nice move, done and dusted, with his teammate battling for 2nd position. He's going to be disappointed that he's this far down the field, but it's a sign of good things to come with an overtake there. And so let's run through the grid. Greenwood from Farizan, Hunter. Oh, wait a minute, Farizan's up into Farizan's up into second. Farizan's up into second. We have not seen this. So this was off the camera now. As we're going to get a replay. Going through the grid quickly there, we've noticed Farizan's got past. So let's have a look at what happened. He's finally got past, and now he can begin to hunt down race leader David Greenwood. So here we go. Hunter and Farizan gets the slipstream. Absolutely lightning quick pace there. Brakes much later, as you can tell. And that's him up into P2, and Greenwood now will be shaking in his cockpit. Oh, he's meant to be shaking in moves, you know. We've got to adapt in these sort of situations. Shaking in his cockpit at the sight of Farizan potentially taking a race victory off of him here. So, as I said, let's run through the grid. We've got Greenwood from Farizan, Hunter, Juhaz and Gaban. That's the top 5 you have there. P6, when it flicks around, we'll have a look at as Farizan is actually starting to gain on him, obviously, with the positions. So then you've got Farin, Levi, Glazebrook, DeBarros, and Duncan. Makes it 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. So from there on, so top 10 that you haven't seen before: Molnar, Grant, Queenland, and so on and so forth. We can't go through the whole thing, you know. I can give you the abbreviations if you want. We've got Finn in there. That's obviously Finn guy, but yeah. So yeah, it's a long way ahead of us still. So will Farizan be able to catch up? We'll have to have a wait and see. He's showing some good pace at the moment, which is a good sign. Oh, Molnar there seems to have a little clip of the rear end. So maybe Grant's hitting there between the two drivers. Let's have a look quickly. It looks like, looked on his screen, he got a little bit of correction there, so maybe he ran over the curb. Doesn't look like anything happened with Grant there, but Grant looking to move up to P11 here now on his teammate. Got the slipstream, got the straight line speed. Let's see what he's able to do. So teammates battling side by side, a bit of pride in here. If one of them's going to get the promotion or the recognition, shall we say. Hopefully one of them will do eventually. Grant now up the inside of his teammate. Scotland, for some reason, just noticed he's got the Scottish flag, but everyone else is representing Britain. Might be a quick thing there, just for Yuri. Might want to change that because everyone else is classified British. Scotland is in Britain. Kind of an error there. I can't be pointing these things out. But moving onwards, Greenwood is now being caught at a rate of knots by Farizan. Hunter is dropping off the driver in second position as well. Rick Fye is absolutely flying at a rate of knots at this current moment in time. So yeah, as you can see though, there's just starting to be a little bit of a pack, just a bit of a gap in the pack forming. You know, no one seems to be able to hold on to each other. No major squabbles going on at the moment, but we are seeing some good close quarter battling at the moment from some drivers at the back of the field who have all got points to prove. But in the main danger zone, it's going to take us a little bit of time to see a battle for the race lead form, but I can think it's going to happen very soon. Now Gomez and Rossi battling for 15th position, as I mentioned a second ago, squabbling in the midfield in the back of the end, who are all looking to prove a point to any other teams that they deserve a space in maybe one of the promoted top class teams, or maybe just a better GP2 ranking. But obviously the performances will be the same. You know, you're basically just going to a reputation, which might be good for you, might not be the best for you. Any team can actually win this, but at the moment we have got some slight front runners. But up until about round 5, we can't really judge because anything can happen. All it could take is a DNF for Hunter, Farizan, and a win from an unsung person who has not scored any points yet. Say someone at the back like Gaban or Rossi, who have really not looked that impressive so far. All it takes is one great performance and they're going to be up there. Speaking of impressive performances, Rossi has just been overtaken by Gomez. So a driver many people had high hopes for is actually floundering there. So next up now is Banks for him. So he'll be looking to pounce on that, as already Gomez is on the back. So that is a very quick turnaround, and hopefully for him, he'll be looking to catch up and overtake and gain some positions nice and sharply at the rate he's currently going. So Farizan is 1.3 seconds, not gaining as much as he was like. He's got a gap on Hunter though, but there seems to be there's no real close thing. But you can see Duncan and DeBarros is only a few hundredths of a second there, so that is very tight between them two. So we could be seeing a squabble coming on there very shortly. Other than that, you know, Gomez obviously on the back of Banks at the moment. You can see this squabble going on as Gomez goes up the inside of Banks. Is he going to make this stick? No, it seems like Banks has got better traction around the outside of that corner. And 14th is currently safe for Sasha Banks. Coming through now into the final set of chicanes. It's one of the more tricky sectors. Let's have a quick talk about that. Obviously, the original format and until recently, the GP2 layout is much more high speed, but this track needs low speed corners to maybe break it up a little bit, give it a little bit more, you know, a little bit more of a slow feel. It's a difficult one. But some people like the older format where it's high speed, straight left, right, very similar to Austria, if you like, going through them final 2 corners. But for me, I think the chicanes is something different. It opens up, it means that spectators get a longer look at the car. If you're sitting at that final corner and you just see cars going at full speed around the corner, yes, of course, you get that great feeling of seeing these amazing machines go at high speed, but at the same time, you don't get a long look at the cars, and that's what people come for. So it's obviously personal preference. For me personally, I think this is a nice little feature. It also means that traction through the final corner opens up more overtaking going into the final corner. If you floor it into the final 2 corners on the original format, then you just have to have better speed and then you just avoid overtaking. This improves overtaking and safety, of course. Speaking of safety, Greenwood's race victory is not safe. See what I did there? Very good segue. His race victory is currently not safe at all, with Farizan closing in and looking very, very deadly, and could well spoil the party for Greenwood here. Banks now in 15th position after being overtaken, of course, previously, which you would have seen. She's now got Rossi all over the back of the McLaren in 17th place, so it's not looking good after a horrible race last weekend. It's going to be a difficult one for Banks to hold on and keep a good performance going. Rossi, of course, many people's favourites and many people expecting a much better show, but so far really not performing at all. As I said last weekend, not technically last weekend, by that I mean the last weekend we was a part of. A lot of people are enjoying GP2, so thank you very much. I saw very positive comments. You know, it means a lot for myself and Yuri. There's a lot of time that goes into Yuri doing this, so he does put a lot of time and effort into it. I just commentate over it. People seem to enjoy that. You will be seeing me if you enjoy my commentary, which you might not, because it's not as shall we say, not as strict as some, but I like to bring a bit of life to this. Speaking of life, my in-game life character is a spirit animal that I like to call the ART of Glazebrook, and he is under pressure at the moment, so let's hope for my sake that my spirit animal is going to do well. But I will be in the top class doing commentary at one point, so have that to look forward to. That'll be a breath. I need some breaks on that breath take. So yeah, De Barros in 10th position under pressure from Grant here. Now up the inside goes Grant. Going to get this move nice and done. Oh, is he actually? This could actually be quite tight. De Barros is holding him on the straight line speed. Grant looking later on the brakes, and at the inside line squeezes him out slightly. Grant's going to hold it up there, and that's De Barros down in 11th, who has just really had another poor race. So last race, of course, he scraped at the points, but it was nothing impressive, and you know, that replay just shows Barros is struggling. Duncan up the inside of Glazebrook now, and there goes, oh, little clip there, so that was a little bit cheeky there, and Duncan moves up into the final points position. Grant now the next one, so both ARTs are struggling, but I feel like there's an inter-team battle, whichever one finishes ahead, that's probably more of an, you know, points are important, of course, but finishing above your teammate is always a bonus, of course, so there'll be a battle between them two. It's almost as if these are back markers at this current point in time. But Duncan takes that final points position. Grant is hot on his heels, who is also flying through the pack now. He's about to come up behind the ART. De Barros as well. He seems to have dropped off a little bit there. Grant now up the inside, looking to take 9th position and dropping Glazebrook down into 10th. Later on the brakes, it seems he's going to be going into this corner, and he does so on the Ocean car there. Nice up the inside, and done and dusted. So here we go again. So 10th and 11th for both ARTs. Duncan up into 8th. Grant 9th, Glazebrook 10th, and De Barros is 11th. So that's that scrap, nice and done. So now maybe Grant will be looking on the back of Duncan. Farizan on Greenwood though, still seemingly no way of catching up to him. He's hopefully going to try and do it, but at the moment he's unable to do so. So maybe for his sake he needs to be taking a bit more time and maybe using his reserves a little bit more scarcely to try and catch up as quickly as possible. Of course, now McLaren down in 17th place. Carmo in 18th. You see Finguy battling for 19th and 20th after the earlier incidents with, and there's Quiles, who has obviously not had a particularly good start to the season either, which has been strange really when you think about it. You know, it's not been a textbook season for the drivers so far. Some of them, you know, they've all been like a little bit off their paces as they're going to try and, you know, adjust to the new system. And yeah, of course, it's a strange one. But let's have a quick look at see how things are going for him. It's a scrap at the back, of course. You know, nobody really particularly wants this, and of course, it's a difficult one to say. One wants to be scrapping at the back, but if this is if this is his opportunity to prove that he is worthy of a space, then of course he's gonna want to take advantage of it. And he's got to show other teams that yes, he might have been involved in the incident, but he can still fight with the big guys when it comes to these sort of situations. So yeah, pushing well at the moment. Farizan obviously still looking for that race to try and catch up with Duncan. He's doing a good job at the moment keeping in touch, but hopefully for his sake he can get that little bit of speed to try and catch up to the driver with even more positions. So yeah. So on board now with Queenland, followed by Rossi. Banks in 17th, McLaren, Banks in 16th, McLaren 17th. His scrap at the back continues, and as I mentioned, it might not be important to us as viewers, but for these drivers, this is the best bit of racing they're going to get, and they're both, as you can see there, really need to have a point to prove. They've got to show their real talents, and this is their best opportunity to do so. And if you've got to do these opportunities, you've got to take full advantage of them. And it's a huge credit to them that they're still battling and they haven't retired at this stage of the Grand Prix. But Fingai and Quiles is nothing important for us, but for them it's a huge deal, and for that, I respect them for it. That 14 of 20, Farizan seemingly unable to catch Greenwood. He showed such great pace earlier on, but at the moment he is unable to do what we thought he'd be able to do, and it's not really working out for him. He's showing good pace through these corners. You can see he's clearly keeping up to speed with Greenwood, but he's unable to catch him that little bit so he can make a move at the inside. 9/10 of a second separates them. He pulled away from Hunter, and you can see now he's starting to chip away from 1 second to 9, so he's gained a 10th there. In that split, he is now starting to chug away at Greenwood, so anything can happen. We've got such a short run to the line. Hopefully one of these drivers, I'm not going to support, very neutral, but I'm hoping for a battle. That's all we can hope for. If we have a nice clean side-by-side battle, then everyone walks away from this situation very, very happy. The only person not walking away from this situation happy will be the person that finishes second, maybe Hunter as well. So Farizan and Hunter are going to be locked in that championship battle after Bahrain's dominant performance from Hunter. We haven't seen this race from Greenwood, but he has pretty much led from start to finish. Obviously, Farizan is showing some good signs that he could catch up to him, but will he be able to do so? Gomez now battling in 13th, looking to try and catch up to the Ocean's car ahead of him. Is he going to be able to? We're going to find out. Going through turn 3, the blind corner, up through the right-hander now. Better exit out of the corner is going to be needed. Little clip of the curb now. Going to try and slipstream. Will he be able to look for a lunge up the inside? Defensive play from the Ocean car now. Up there goes Gomez. Gomez there, and now he's unable to do it. So Molnar holds on for 12th position at the moment, but it could well be flying away from him. There is Farizan right on the back of Greenwood. You can see the gap to Hunter. It was tight between the top three. It's now a 2-horse race for this Grand Prix victory. Who will come out on top? Let's have a quick look now. Going up this right-hander of turn 3, braking sharply now into turn 4. They're about to do so now. Brakes nice and sharply there. Farizan, a little bit of a gap there. What's the gap to Hunter? He's pulling away. Unable to gain that significantly on Greenwood though. It's only a couple of hundredths of a second that are doing it for him at the moment. Molnar and Gomez battling now. Teammate, of course, of Hunter is Gomez in the Trident car up to 12th position, and Molnar unable to do anything to stop him, so his next targets now, I believe, are De Barros and Glazebrook in the ARTs. Turn 3, of course, we've mentioned it quite a bit. One of the most difficult corners on the track. High speed, is it flat out? Well, in the current F1 cars, just about. You have to lift slightly if you've got understeer on worn tyres, but on fresh tyres you're able to do so. Greenwood now, though, we're going to quickly cut there. He is having the gap chipped away slightly, but if it goes the way it is at the moment, Farizan will not be able to catch up. Quiles and Fingai are battling as Quiles gets past Fingai for 19th, but at the moment, the way that Farizan's gaining, he will not have enough to catch and overtake Greenwood, and at the rate of things that are going at the moment, Greenwood will have his race victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Rick-Fire will do everything he can to stop that. It will at the moment be back-to-back P2s for him. Hunter will also have back-to-back podiums, so them two firmly in a scrap with 5 laps remaining now. Lap 16, we have got ourselves a sprint to the finish between them two ahead. Hunter, though, chipping away, doing his job, but he'll be disappointed he was unable to do much with that fantastic start that he had so early on. Rick-Fire continuing to catch up to Greenwood. David Greenwood will be very pleased with his performance at the moment. Consistency is key for him. might not have the best qualifying in the world. Obviously, I mean, it was still a decent qualifying, obviously, in P2, but it wasn't the pole position he might have been hoping for. But at the same time, he'll be looking to build upon that and try and catch up in the championship with this great performance he's showing at the moment. But of course, the party popper is Rukfai Farizan. Obviously, Juhaz in 4th and Gaban are in 5th, so not really mentioned them much, but they've just been doing their thing. Farin in 6th, Levi 7th, Duncan 8th, Grant in 9th, Glazebrook rounds out the top 10. De Barros is in 11th in the other ART, 12th is Gomez, Molnar is 13th, Rossi 14th, and Queenland is in P15. As we go through this tight right-hander, continuing to look on board with Farizan. Banks in 16th, McCleary in 17th, Makamo 18th, 19th, Keeles and Fingai rounds out the top 20, the only cars out on track. We continue on board with Farizan, who is trying to chip away at that gap as well as he possibly can. It's a difficult ask. We all understand it's not going to be easy with 4 laps remaining, but he is slowly doing it. We'll see the gap there, 7 tenths now, so he is gaining. With the weight rate, things are going 2 tenths there, thing. 4 laps remaining, he might be able to have one lunging move on the last lap, so we are going to have some last lap drama here, guys. This is going to be intense. Gomez battling De Barros for 11th position. Could split the 2 ARTs here at the moment, but De Barros has not been able to answer for his teammate, so the ART is going to win out in this one. So after Glazebrook's disappointing race where he obviously got taken out at Bahrain early doors, he's going to be looking to fight back against his teammate. Disappointed with points, of course, but Grant has had a fantastic race for gaining 6 positions. Duncan's gained 5. Levi's dropped a few positions, as we saw, as now De Barros drops down into P12. So splitting the 2 ARTs there is the Trident car. And yeah, so let's have a look. So Greenwood's gained a position and Farizan obviously dropped. Hunter has stayed in P3 as expected, so slight changing around there, but at the moment not much. So Hunter and Juhaz, is there much of a gap? No, Hunter's pulling away there, so no gap at all there. Farizan visibly much closer on the back of Greenwood. This is now getting very intense now as we come through the final final chicanes of this track. Now coming into the final corner, the fast right-hander. We're going to have lap 18 of lap 20 to look forward to, and just 3 laps of this Grand Prix remaining as they both cross the line. The gap between the 2 of them is going to be tight. We're going to have a very close finish here. It's still 7 tenths of a second, so maybe it's too much of an ask for Farizan. He might not be able to do so, but we have got ourselves a scrap here for this win. It reminds me of Ricciardo and Rosberg. So much potential, but will it let us down on the flop side, and will we be very disappointed with the race finish? But Greenwood, notably, a little bit worried, a little bit panicky. Still 7 tenths of a second going through that split there, but it seems to be much more visibly closer. So maybe Farizan will get slipstream going into the second straight of this track, going up through turn 8. He's clearly there. Will he be able to get a better exit? He needs to be better on his brakes, better on traction, and his car clearly has the straight line speed. He's shown some great pace here. He's been chipping away at it. Hunter still in 3rd position. No mistakes from him. Solid points at the moment. Keeps him in that championship hunt. He'll be happy. No pun intended, sorry. He'll be happy with his performance as it stands. Farizan slightly catching up there, but it seems that he's dropped off a little bit to the car. Maybe it looks, oh no, to be fair, going through that corner, yeah, he has dropped off 8 tenths of a second. He needs a miracle going through this final corner. He needs to gain at least 3 tenths to really give himself a chance. He'll have one opportunity at this rate. He might not even have that. Greenwood is keeping the consistency nice and sharp at the moment. He's doing a good job going through these final chicanes, now coming into the final corner, but it seems that Farizan has his number through this final corner. Will he have the straight line speed and slipstream now? On board with Farizan. No, we cut to Hunter though. That's not what we want to see. We want to see the battle for the lead. Why are we not seeing 2 laps remaining? Lap 19 of 20. Hunter crosses the line in 3rd position. We want to see the scrap for the lead. They can see they're so close. Hunter, though, he's not going to be caught by Juhaz. We're looking at Hunter. I want to see the battle for the lead. Oh, Christ, this is just... I don't know. Maybe one of them's crashed. We can't see. Show us the... No! Gavin, oh, we're seeing the battle. No, there's a battle here for points, though. Duncan now down into 9th. Glazebrook's 10th. De Barros is 11th, so somebody has dropped off places there. Grant's up into 8th. Duncan has now been overtaken by Grant. The 2 ARTs, no, it's not. It's Gomez and Gomez and Glazebrook who are battling. So Grant's now moved up into the points. He's overtaken Duncan. So here goes Glazebrook now overtaken by the Trident car. He's down into 11th, but holding off his teammate. But what's happening with the leaders? What is going on? We need to see what's happening with the two leading cars. We need to know. So Glazebrook's in 11th, De Barros is in 12th, but we need to understand: has Farizan got the pace on? Has Farizan got the pace to take over the lead? Molnar's in 13th, Rossi's 15th, Quinlan. You can see going, but we're going to catch this Greenwood. There he is. So it's 0.6 of a second between Greenwood and Farizan. Are they going to be able to get this battle? Is Farizan going to have one chance going into turn 1? He's going to need a fantastic final set of corners. A set of corners he's been fantastic through this entire Grand Prix weekend. Going through this final corner, needs to be better on the traffic. He's going to have one chance. It doesn't look like he's close enough for him coming through these final corners. He's going to have to utilise straight line speed, the slipstream as well. He's got the speed now. Here we go. Is Farizan going to be able to catch up to the car ahead? No, I don't think he's got it. So at the rate of things are going at the moment, final lap for Greenwood of his potential race victory here. Will Farizan be able to catch up? He's going to need something fantastic. We're going to see the split times. If I'm honest, anything over 0.7 of a second, I can't see him doing it. He's not had a chance, Farizan, this race. It seems that Greenwood is going to have it. It's 0.8 of a second. So Greenwood, at the current rate of knots, is going to win this Grand Prix. Surely Farizan cannot catch up in that amount of time. It's not good enough, surely. So it looks at the way things are going, but Farizan will not give up. He's going to push to the very end. Grant now up into 7th, Levi in 8th. So Grant is storming through the grid. Levi has dropped another position. That's 4 positions he's dropped, 7 that Grant has gained. So that's incredible from Grant. A fantastic performance from him. But back onto the lead. This is the last, surely, last overtaking area. Greenwood now has it easily done. Greenwood coming through the final few corners now. Last sector, it's 0.7 of a second, but Farizan has never been able to get that down to about 0.4, which is the time you'd need to get the slipstream and the overtake. Farizan has done valiantly well, but sadly for him, he is going to have another second position. He'll look next weekend to try and get the perfect position and get his race win. But for David Greenwood, he comes through the final 2 corners, and David Greenwood wins the Spanish Grand Prix in fantastic fashion. A battle that will go down in GP2 history. Second position is Farizan. Third position is Robert Hunter. Fourth position will be Juhas for PK Grand Prix Renault. Another good performance for him. Behind him in 5th position will be Franco Gaban. He rounds out that. 6th position is Farran. 7th position, valiantly of course, in the Ocean car is Sean Grant for Ireland. A fantastic performance from him. 8th position is Duncan. 9th position, oh no it's not, it's Levi, sorry. But Duncan's right on the back of him there. It's Levi, sorry, in 8th. Duncan 9th. Gomez makes it 10th. Glazebrook in the ART wins the battle of the drivers. He takes 11th. De Barros, disappointing 12th. 13th is Molnar. 14th is Rossi in the PKGP Renault. Queenland takes 15th position. Banks will round it in 16th position. Sharply on her tail is going to be McCleary, followed by Macamo. 19th position is Quiles, and after a disappointing Grand Prix, 20th position is going to be Fingai, and another poor performance, slow pace there coming through the final corner. He finishes it for Supernova Renault, and that is an absolutely intense race which has seen David Greenwood win for Racing Engineering in a fantastic fashion. Commiserations to Rick Fye, and that was an absolutely intense race. So let's have a look at the race results as we said previously. 7th-10th ended up separating the two, with David Greenwood winning from Rick Fye Farizan. Hunter takes 4th, Patrick Juhas in 4th, Hunter 3rd, Juhas in 4th, Gaban 5th, Farrin 6th, Grant 7th, 30 seconds, a massive gap of 12 seconds between 6th and 7th. Lucas Levi just wins by a 10th of a second to William Duncan. Gabriel Gomez takes 10th, Glazebrook taking 11th, winning the battle of the ARTs. 12th place is De Barros. 13th is Molnar in the Ocean car. Mario Rossi in the PK Grand Prix takes 14th. Queenland 15th. Sasha Banks in 16th. Mario McCleary in 17th. Daniel Macamo takes 18th. Robin Quiles in 19th. Jeffrey Fingai in 20th. And Michael Vortiga and Franco Lopez both did not finish after that huge crash we saw earlier. Fastest lap, as expected, Farizan takes the fastest lap from David Greenwood. Hunter takes it 3rd. 4th is Quiles. 5th is Patrick Juhas. 6th is Gaban. Luca Farrin is 7th. 8th is Grant. 9th is Gomez. 10th is Duncan. 11th, Fingai. 12th is Rossi, 13th is Levi. De Barros wins the fastest lap for the ARTs. He's in 14th, 15th is Glazebrook, 16th is Molnar, 17th is Queenland, 18th is Banks, 19th is McClary and Macamo, and then Quiles and Fingai. So here is the driver's standings for you. Let's have a quick look at this, shall we? Hunter leads based on the fact that he won a Grand Prix on 20 points from Farizan, who's also on 20 points. David Greenwood on 13 points. He's in third place after a great win for him. Juhaz is 4th, 5th is Macamo, he's on 6th. Juhaz on 9th, 5 points for Fingai, he's in 6th, 7th is Gaban, who's on 4. Farin on 3, joint with Lucas Levi, who's also on 3. Sean Grant on 2, and De Barros rounds out in 11th position. 12th is Gomez, 13th is Duncan Queenland, 14th Glazebrook, 15th Vortiga, 16th Molnar, 17th Lopez, 18th, 19th is Rossi, 20th is Quiles, Banks is 21st, and Mario McClary, who is also the last driver on no points, he's in 22nd position. The Constructors' Championship, or shall we call it Team Championship, there is none, of course, being the fact that there is obviously no championship in that for this series. So, yeah, it's an absolutely incredible Grand Prix. I'm out of breath. You might have lost your breath there, but I hope you have enjoyed. It's been a very intense Grand Prix. And all that's left for me to say is thank you all very, very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, then please do leave a like down below. Comment anything you want, but preferably if you'd like to use the hashtag Ollie for F1 or Ollie is the best commentator. Let's see how many people actually do it. If actually one person genuinely does it, I will be so surprised. It would also show that you're right. You're actually watching to this point in the video. If you've actually watched all this way in the video, then credit to you, because that is an admirable thing. But yes, that's all that's left for me to say is thank you all very, very much for watching. Leave your driver of the day down below. I have mine. Mine personally is David Greenwood, a fantastic performance from him. Sean Grant is also a very good contender. So please do leave a like down below. Subscribe to Yuri for all of this great content. And I will see you next time for GP2. And all that's left for me to say is thank you all, guys. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.